What's going on, guys? I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. You're a returning subscriber as always, guys. Welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. Guys, we covered a story when it first broke where it was not a lot of details, about the case. But the case was horrific all the same. You see these two people up here? These are the main characters of today's video. These dumbasses that you see up here are 35-year-old Charles Dupriest and Isaiah Zielinski, age 26. These people have a myriad of charges, from possession of a firearm by a felon to child neglect. A couple days ago, if you guys remember, I did the story of 6 children between the ages of 9 years old and 2 months old that were found in a storage unit, locked inside in the dark. These are the people that are supposedly the parents of those children, and they're locked up, and they went to court recently. And you are going to be shocked at what you're about to hear. These people left these kids in this abandoned storage unit in deplorable conditions. They also have a dog that they treated better than said children. I don't understand what's going on, but you cannot tell me that we have a problem with parenting in America, or the definition of what a parent is and the responsibilities thereof. It's no damn way these people up here that you see did what you're about to hear. And without further ado, take a look at this and ready yourself. This is awful.
Now to another developing story in Milwaukee. Police say 6 children were found living inside of a storage unit in the city.
Yeah, now their parents are facing multiple felony counts of child neglect. Court documents detail the unsafe and unsanitary conditions inside that storage unit. Officers were first alerted by a person who heard a baby crying.
Both parents were in court today. Dua Israr joins us live in the newsroom with what happened during what was an emotional hearing. Dua.
Amanda and Jessup, 26-year-old Isaiah Zielinski broke down in tears as the court commissioner raised the suggested bond from $1,000 to $5,000 cash bail. According to the criminal complaint, Zielinski and 33-year-old Charles Dupriest were identified as the parents of 6 children found living in a storage unit at StoreSafe, the oldest child being 9 years old and the youngest child just 2 months old.
We have your children stating that they had no food, that the only food they found was from the garbage. They didn't have a bathroom. They used a bucket.
According to this criminal complaint, Milwaukee police officers were called to a storage unit inside StoreSafe after reports of a child crying inside. When officers opened the unit, they found a bucket containing urine in the middle of the room and 6 children aged 9, 7, 5, 3, 2 years old, and a 2-month-old baby. The oldest child told officers that they lived in the storage unit 50% of the time. He identified 33-year-old Charles Dupriest and 26-year-old Isaiah Zielinski as their parents. The 9-year-old told officers his parents would drink tequila and vodka, become drunk, and slump over. He also told officers Dupriest would often discipline them with whoopings, including one with such force that his lips began to bleed. Officers found Dupriest and Zielinski in a black Ford SUV in the parking lot with their dog, along with a firearm. Zielinski told officers the family was living at Joy House, a shelter in Milwaukee, before they were kicked out after she gave birth. In a statement sent to CBS 58, Milwaukee Rescue Mission, which operates Joy House, stated the family had stayed with them in 2023 and 2025. A spokesperson told CBS 58 the family had secured permanent housing before leaving Joy House. According to the criminal complaint, the family received $2,000 a month in Social Security benefits. In intake court, the state asked for a $1,000 signature bond, but the intake commissioner disagreed, stating she had a big objection.
And what's more disturbing than all of that are the statements that both you and Father had made, that you and the children could have stayed with family members.
Now, a cash bail was set at $5,000 for Zielinski because she did not have a previous criminal history. A $20,000 cash bail was set for Dupriest. Dupriest was convicted of third-degree sexual assault of a 13-year-old in 2010 in Ozaukee County. Now, if found guilty, Dupriest faces up to 25.5 years in prison. Zielinski faces up to 15.5 years in prison. Amanda and Jessup.
Dua Israr live in our newsroom tonight. Thank you.
The 6 children found padlocked inside a storage unit in Milwaukee.
Yeah, this is a heartbreaking reality. The new images behind us really showing those conditions. Investigators describe them as horrific. Within the hour, the mother and father now charged, appearing in court. They're identified as Charles Dupriest and Asia Zielinski. Now, 12 News' Kendall Keys live at the Milwaukee County Courthouse.
All right, Kendall, very alarming details here. The mother told investigators the children had been living inside the storage unit for a month and a half. No electricity, no running water.
Right, Deanna, someone heard the couple's infant crying inside the storage unit and called 911. That's when police and firefighters broke the padlock and found the 6 children living in deplorable conditions. Now they're in the care of Child Protective Services and their parents are in jail. StoreSafe Self-Storage at 27th and Silver Spring offers secured units for people to store belongings, furniture, cars, equipment. But in the early morning hours Tuesday, someone heard a baby cry from inside a unit and called 911.
Police are on scene requesting a forced entry. They believe a baby is locked in one of the storage lockers.
12 News there as Milwaukee police and firefighters entered the unit. Inside, 6 kids, the youngest 2 months old and the oldest just 9. Officers say the children appeared to be asleep. The 5-year-old telling a detective, "We're not supposed to be loud." Photos from inside show the cramped quarters, a twin mattress and a beat-up sofa. Investigators also photographed a bucket used as a toilet. Detectives describing the smell in the unit as so putrid they could not remain inside, even with the garage door open.
The only light these poor children had to have was the crack of light that came through the bottom of the garage. We have your children stating that they had no food, that the only food they found was from the garbage.
A criminal complaint charges parents, Charles Dupriest and Asia Zielinski, with multiple counts of child neglect.
Ma'am, do you understand those charges and the potential maximum penalties?
Yes, ma'am.
Investigators found the parents sleeping in a Ford Expedition in the parking lot with their dog. One of the children told police she was upset the dog got to sleep in the car while she and her siblings slept in the unit.
The middle row was completely empty, and the dog had the back row all to himself as these children slept in a locked storage container with one twin mattress on the floor.
The 9-year-old tasked with taking care of his siblings, telling police he would not know how to get out in an emergency.
This is horrific. Ma'am, I see you are broken up. I hope you realize how lucky you actually are that none of these children have died.
Kendall, this is a story that's really just hard to wrap your mind around. Investigators say the family was receiving assistance.
All right, Deanna, food stamps and $2,000 a month in Social Security benefits. Mom told investigators the family had gotten kicked out of Joy House, which is a shelter for women and children. And the Milwaukee Rescue Mission did confirm they were giving the family assistance in July, but said they verified the family had permanent housing before they left the shelter. Now, both parents remain in jail tonight.
All right, still a lot of questions left to be answered. Kendall Keys live in Milwaukee for us tonight. Thank you.
Fucking disgusting. They would not get them kids back if it was up to me. This is why you can't do valuable things for people who don't value shit. Look at these people up here. Parents. Together. Sleeping outside with the dog. Passed out while you got a 2-month-old baby and kids all the way up to 9 years old inside a dark unit under deplorable conditions. Stinks so bad you can't go in there, and you got a 2-month-old baby in there with them. People don't value shit. Don't value the life of their own children. Don't value what was given to them. Didn't think about the situation that they was in and not to go back to it. They went from bad to worse. They was in the shelter first. She got pregnant, had a baby. They found secured housing, got out. The shelter, $2,000 a month. It's not a lot, but it's enough. And lost all of that. Said they drink. They would get drunk and pass out. You got a 2-month-old baby. You ain't got time to pass the fuck out. I told you before, there's single parent homes and kids be struggling in them. And there are also no parent homes where the people that board the kids don't really pay attention to them or don't know what the fuck to do. You got a bunch of people out here that know how to make babies, but don't know how to take care of them, but don't even want to know how to take care of them, but don't even think about taking care of them because they're selfish in nature. 35-year-old man, 26-year-old woman, following right behind him. This is what happens when you fuck with men that are not leaders. And this is also what happens when you fuck around with men that walk around in circles and you right along with them and you popping babies out at the same damn time. I can't feel sorry for these people at all. My heart goes out to them kids because they didn't ask to be here. I feel nothing for these people because they were down, you know, mentally and physically in a situation. But the one thing they had was them as a family. Didn't learn from none of that and dragged them kids in a situation that was from bad to worse. Unacceptable. Unacceptable. A 2-month-old baby wakes up for feedings regularly. Y'all sleeping in the fucking car with the goddamn dog. What you got a dog for anyway when you got 6 babies that need your attention? He had a gun with him. Of course he did. Of course he did. Had a gun with him. You could have pawned that gun and feed your damn kids. Your baby's eating out of the trash? How is the 2-month-old supposed to survive if the kids ain't have food to eat? What was she? I guess she was breastfeeding the baby, I guess. But either way, what the fuck is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? This is what we got right now. Parents that are there in mind but not body. You telling them to keep quiet in there. How you gonna keep a 2-month-old baby quiet? Babies cry when they communicate. I told you before, they always put the responsibility of parenting on a 9-year-old kid or kids that they have. How many times you seen kids walking down the street, little girls with babies on their hips? It's not a good look. It's not a good look. You are the parents and you force parenting on these kids. Then you're beating them. One of them you beat so bad the mouth started bleeding to some shit when you the one that needs your asses beat for having them in a position where they can't even be kids in a fucking storage unit. A bucket is on the goddamn floor. Buckets on the floor for them to use the bathroom. You got little boys and little girls in there. How does that look? How did it get to this point? All because you. And this fall mainly on the man. He 35 fucking years old. Y'all had secured housing. And you couldn't even control your environment or universe at that point to where it just imploded into chaos to where y'all staying in the fucking place where people leave tools and stuff they don't want or need or can't afford to take with them. You have lives in there, 6 of them. 6 of them. Spiraling out of control. This motherfucker got a sex offender charge with a 13-year-old girl when he was 20 years old. Then after that, he had his own kids. And he's a kid himself in the mind. You could tell by his ways and actions. And all them times this girl had kids by this dude, she never said, wait a minute. My kids are the priority, not him, because he's showing that the priority is him getting something from me, and he don't have enough responsibility to look at our situation and say, hey, I got to do better as a man. Didn't. Fall squarely on him. On him. And she's a close second. You followed behind a motherfucker that don't give a damn about you or them damn kids. And if the opportunity presented itself, you would see that like you were seeing it then. You had a 2-month-old baby. And you drinking alcohol. So if you breastfeeding the baby, what you think's going into that child? They would never get these kids back. I'd show them the fucking flowers. And that's the thing. You got a lot of people out here that run around and they do a lot of biological instinctive functions that men and women do together, but they don't follow it through with taking care of the responsibility that they both created. Now you sitting up in motherfucking court looking stupid as hell. They got you up there, you crying. The judge being pitiful on your ass. I'd have showed you no leniency. I'd have tore you a new asshole in there. They'd have took my judgeship or something. They'd be like, oh, no, you can't be no judge no more. You too raw. I'd have kept it real. I don't give a fuck who get mad about it. None of us, when we were children, would like to be in a position like that. You put the stress and strife of taking care of a baby on a 9-year-old. I think they said she was a girl at that. Because I seen one video where it had like the outlines of boy and girl, and it had the ages of who they were. It's a mixture of boys and girls. I think the oldest, 9-year-old, is a little girl, I think. But either way, this is bullshit. Bullshit. But this is the reality we have. And I told you, this stuff, these crimes against children are going to continue, and they're going to continue to grow, because you have a lot of people out here that have sex, breed, but don't know the next step and don't want to know the next step and don't care about the next step. They just drop these babies and they're supposed to be like Bambi, just jump up in the hour and start running and walking and talking and doing what they do, which is a bunch of fucking nothing. That's why I'd get rid of them. I'd get them the fuck out of here. You don't deserve shit. They gave you opportunities that a lot of people don't get out here. Housing. Building blocks to start your life to where you could stand on your feet and at least take one step at a time. No matter how hard the step is, as long as your feet were mobile, you could take another step forward. As long as you were laser focused in making a better tomorrow for you as a couple and your fucking children. And you didn't do it. So fuck off. Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. I said in my live stream last night, and thank everybody that attended, stories affect people differently according to how they grew up and different things they went through in life. I had a good childhood. That is bullshit. I know I would not put my children through any type of suffering due to my adult wrongful decisions and stuff like this. I would not jeopardize the life and the health and the welfare, especially the physical growth and mental growth of my children. What does that say about them? What does that say about them? How were they raised? And a lot of times, these people were raised in nice situations. But there are certain things in life that they never learned or chose to ignore. And when they got out there in deep water, they just swam in circles instead of moving from place to place. It's unacceptable. I will see you in the next video. Take care.